Yeah, this is it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I still find myself in Peruvian Amazon, and it's hot and it's humid. But soon things are about to change, because this time I'm heading to the legendary city of Cusco. Yep, high in the mountains. So in the next few days I'm about to leave the lush valleys of the Amazon and I'll try to cycle to the mountains. So stay with me, because this will get really interesting. You just have a look at this. So this is the first caiman that I caught in Peru. My first Peruvian caiman. And a beautiful one. Good looking. I mean, this is a very young animal. This is still just a teenager, but I mean, he had a good life. Thick belly. And these are pretty common animals, but each time I'm holding one in my hands, you know, it's something special. It feels as if you're holding some sort of a dinosaur in your hands or something like that. You see, these are strictly nocturnal animals. They hunt at night. And sometimes you can see these caimans crossing the road, and very unfortunately some of them get hit by cars. And I guess I need to bring it deeper into the jungle. There's some kind of river down there. Maybe I'll release it there, because here is too dangerous. Road is too close. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mazuko, gold mining town. You see, there's a lot of gold mining going on all throughout Peruvian Amazon, and every once in a while you can find these settlements where people live and work mainly in gold extraction. So Mazuko is one of those towns that you probably never heard of before, and neither did I until a few days ago when I saw it on my map. Anyway, my original idea was just to pass this town and start cycling the mountains. And I'm already at the foothills of the Andes. But the problem is that for the last few days, not even last few days, I would say last week, I'm feeling some slight pain in my cheek, like a little bit of toothache. And I'm a bit worried that once I'll hit the mountains, once I'll get to the higher altitude, with cold and all that, I might end up in a miserable situation. Because next bigger town will be Cusco, and it's 300 kilometers away. So what I'm about to do, I just checked on the map that there is a dentist in Mazuko. I have no appointment, but I'll try to sneak in somehow, and maybe he can help me out. And if not, then I'll take a risk and I'll start cycling to Cusco like that. And hopefully it won't get worse. But yeah. You just have a look at my life. What a tremendous mess. Alright, so for the first time in my life, I went to the dentist in Peru. In fact, for the first time in my life, I went to the dentist somewhere in Latin America, because curiously enough, throughout all these years I never had issues with dental health. Probably I was just lucky. And yeah, I just went there, and this beautiful fluffy dentist lady, she did a little investigation, and she told me that so far
my issue is not that big, but it might escalate in the future. So for now, she just gave me a prescription for some pills that's supposed to help me. But in the next few weeks or few months, I should stop for a while. I mean, stop from traveling and do some serious fixing down here. But I mean, let's expect for the best. Yeah. Now I just want to hit the road and cycle to Cusco. And this will be one crazy ride, you know, because at the moment I still find myself in some lush and humid and hot valley of Peruvian Amazon. And in a matter of 1 week I'll try to get to the altitude of about 5 kilometers. Because I'll need to cycle up there and then there will be a little downhill to the city of Cusco, which is in the altitude of about 3.5 kilometers, something like that. So this will be one really wild ride. And I can only wonder how this will affect my body. Well, in general I never had any serious issues with altitude. Probably it will be alright, but with these dental health issues, you know, better is not to have any expectations and no worries and just go for it, you know, and that's that. Just in case I have some painkillers, I got these pills, and yeah, if I'll feel strange, I can always like cool down, stop for a while. So I guess the only issue that this road will be quite abandoned too. But you know, whatever happens, happens. Let's go to the mountains. You just have a look at this. Just a little bit of cycling and landscape had changed completely. It got really hilly. In fact, it's almost mountainous already, which means that I'm right at the foothills of the Andes, which means that my journey across the Amazon rainforest soon will be finished, and soon I'll hit the mountains. So today I woke up around 5:30 and ate my breakfast, and immediately I started packing my stuff to cycle further. And then it started to rain. And now we got 8:45. So I'm just sitting here and waiting for the rain to stop for about 2 hours now. It seems like the Amazon is not allowing me to leave. It is 11 already, and situation haven't changed that much. What I find a little bit silly about this whole situation is that about 5 kilometers ahead there is a little town, so I just could go there, or I just could sit here and maybe wait all day, because it's not getting any better. Rain just comes and goes, yeah, but it's just raining all the time. Yeah.
Good evening, my friends, and welcome to Marapata, little town lost in Peruvian Andes. And yeah, I'm pretty high in the mountains, and honestly, if I'm not mistaken, in the last few days I managed to cycle from the jungle, from some jungle valleys way up here, and I find myself in the altitude of more than 3 kilometers. And it feels like it, believe me. It's cold. I spent so much time in the tropics. And I feel quite destroyed. I mean, not horribly destroyed. I've been worse, but yeah, I was just pushing my bicycle uphill for God knows how long. But here I am, I made it. Well, yeah, I feel really tired. I made many revelations. There are many things I would like to talk about, but I think I will talk about them tomorrow. I just want to take some rest. Well, to grab some snack and then take some rest, because this was really something. You know, it feels like I wasn't just sleeping. It seems like I was in some sort of a state of coma for a while. And then I woke up, opened my eyes, and I'm just thinking, where the hell am I? What is this place? And then like, oh, I was pushing it through the mountains yesterday. Oh, okay, I'm in the Andes. It was one of those mornings. And this is the last stretch of the road where I was pushing yesterday, through the night already when it was dark. So this is where it started. All the way up, step by step, and eventually I'm here. Eventually I'm here in Marapata. And it's pretty wild, you know, because like last morning I met in a place still surrounded by palm trees. And now I'm in the altitude of 3 kilometers. And here you have some pine trees. And listen, I'm very much familiar with the mountains, with the highlands, with the Andes. In fact, this YouTube channel started with me cycling across the Bolivian Andes. So it's not a new environment for me. I also lived in Salta in Argentina for a while, pretty much at the foothills of the Andes. So, even though I'm not a natural born Highlander, I'm really familiar with this environment. But yesterday I really had to remember this in a rather harsh fashion, you know. I was just pushing my bicycle uphill for, I don't know, maybe 5 hours. Not that much of cycling, really steep in here. Yeah, and it got really cold. I mean, it's not that cold, you know, I'm Lithuanian. I'm used to freezing, but I just spent almost 1 year in the tropical environment, in the jungle. So now in here it's freezing cold. And Marapata looks like some cute little mountain town. It is a nice place, it seems. And I'll stay here for today because I really, and I mean really, need to prepare myself for what's waiting ahead, for my further ride, because yeah, this might get more complicated than I thought. So welcome to yet another cheap-ass hotel where I'm staying. Just this time, it's really cheap. Because you see, if compared with Brazil, Peru is a really cheap country. Like really cheap, almost Bolivia-like cheap. And this is a pretty nice place too. You got some nice bicycle in here, locked safe.
And this is my little room. Oh yeah. Oh la la. A little bit of mess like usual. Yeah, I'm getting myself ready for tomorrow. So city of Cusco is not that far. I think it's about 160 kilometers away. But when you're crossing mountains, my friend, distances, they have different meanings. Let's say tomorrow I'm about to cross one really complicated stretch of the road, because I will try to push my bicycle to the altitude of almost 5 kilometers. And at the moment I find myself in the altitude of 3 kilometers. And if that was summertime, I would say it's not a big issue. But tomorrow is the 1st of May. Winter time is coming to the Andes. And if it was raining today in Marapata, up there, close to the peak, it was snowing. And here I could start my typical rant how I was born and raised in Lithuania, in freaking northeastern Europe, and it gets really cold up there, so yeah, I shouldn't worry that much. But frankly, I'm a little bit worried because I just spent almost 1 year in the tropics, you know? And then I guess I could say that I'm quite familiar with this environment, with the mountains. But during my previous journeys to the Andes, I wasn't rushing that much. I was taking it really easy. But this time, just in 1 week, I'm trying to climb from tropical valleys of the Amazon way up to the frozen mountain peaks. So about this crazy stretch of the road that's waiting for me tomorrow, well, I'll try to do this in 1 day. I mean, the remaining distance way up to the very peak is just about 30 kilometers, and after that is just road downhill, and then there is a little bit more of uphill, and here I am in Cusco. But the problem is that those 30 kilometers is just pushing bicycle uphill. And from what people told me, it's quite tough, even with a car or a motorbike. So I want to try to do this in 1 day, and if I fail, well, then that means that I will need to camp somewhere out there, and that would be a very rough scenario. But I got myself ready. I bought plenty of food, cookies, chocolate, all kinds of fruits, you know, just to keep that engine going. I also did a little bit of shopping, and I bought some winter clothing. So even in the last case scenario, most likely I won't freeze to death. And I even bought some waterproof poncho, because very likely it will rain tomorrow, or maybe up there in the peak it might snow, so this will help. But I also have my secret weapon. You see, for the last few days I'm chewing coca leaves, and this is the fundamental. Indigenous people of the Andes were consuming coca for centuries and centuries, way before the Incan Empire. It helps with altitude sickness, it kills hunger, thirst, and it gives certain boost of energy, which I will need tomorrow. And actually, this is when I bought this bag of coca, it was big like this, so I already chewed quite a lot. So just in case I bought some more. I mean, this is really essential, I'm not joking. So it is 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm all packed and ready to hit the road and start cycling across the high mountains. Just one last thing. Oh, now I'm ready. Let's do this. Well, what can I say? I can see the mountain tops already. It's around 12, so I still have some time. And yeah, I'm a little bit short of breath. I have no idea what altitude it is, but it's getting tougher, a little bit tougher. And yeah, unfortunately it's also getting cloudy, so we might get some rain, and that would be pretty bad, you know. But so far so good. Yeah, it's exciting, it's beautiful mountains. I can see the peaks. Just look at this. Yeah! Yes! Yes! Yeah! This is it! Ah, yeah! You feel it? You feel it? Yeah! ¿Y ustedes viven acá?
Sí.
Sí. ¿Y no hace frío en esa altura?
Estamos acostumbrados.
Acostumbrados, ¿no?
Sí.
Sí. ¿Y pasan muchos viajeros aquí? ¿Pasan?
Sí. ¿Eh?
¿Y con bicicletas también?
No, con motos caros.
Con carro, moto, ¿no? ¿Ustedes quieren galletita?
Oh, gracias.
Bueno. Oh. Una para ti
Muchas gracias.
y una para ti.
Muchas gracias.
Buen provecho, de nada. And now the fun part, which is going down. But I need to hurry. I need to get to one town to find some accommodation because I have a feeling it will be freaking cold. Oh. So one would think that after all this pushing uphill, going downhill should be a lot of fun. But it wasn't. It got freaking cold. It got so cold. Oh, you know, that's the thing about mountains. It could be warm in the daytime, but when the sun goes down in the evening, it gets cold. Like freaking cold, and I was going downhill really fast. And now I found myself in some town. I don't even remember what's the name of this town, to be frank. But today I started the day in the altitude of 3 kilometers. Then I managed to push my bicycle way up to the altitude of 5 kilometers, and I'm finishing the day once again in the altitude of about 3 kilometers, I guess. And I managed to find some cheap ass hotel. And there is no central heating, but I'm laying in the bed and eventually I managed to get warm. Whoa, this was really freezing. Oof. Anyway, I really need to take some rest. I feel a bit destroyed, as you might guess. And let's see what tomorrow brings. But for now, good night, my friends.
So last night I slept really bad, very little, very poorly, and today in the morning I woke up with a reasonable headache. The altitude, I guess. And the city of Cusco is not too far. I think it's like 90 kilometers further, but I still have like 2 mountains to climb ahead. So I'm not so sure whether I'll get there today. More likely tomorrow. Although those mountains are nowhere as high as the one that I crossed yesterday, so it's not a big issue, but it will take some time. Yeah. Oh yeah. So this time it's only humble 4,185 meters, but it took me some time, and that's the problem. It got really late. It's dark already, and I can't sleep here. It will get way too cold up here. I need to cycle downhill. I think I'll try to get to the next town. So this should be a lot of fun, but I will do this in the darkness, so this will be a dangerous type of fun, I guess. A little bit on the edge, huh? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Cusco, once legendary capital of Incan Empire, and these days pretty big city lost in Peruvian Andes. And you know, Cusco is one of those cities that I always wanted to visit, so I really can't believe I'm here. But for now, I really hope that you enjoyed this little video of mine, and I'll see you on the next one.